What's going on, everybody? Hope you're having a lovely day, following your dreams, living life, loving life, staying weird. You know, the usual. It's your boy Mxnkey, aka Ryan, and we are back with another video. Story time. Today's story time. We're getting right into it. Today's story time takes place about 6 to 8 years ago when I first tripped acid with some people, and we're gonna get right into it. So this night in particular, I had 5 friends over, and I'm gonna give the friend at the time, I don't talk to the guy now. I'm gonna give him a name. I'm gonna give him an alias, a fake name, if you will. We're gonna call this guy Devin. Devin and I were really good friends, smoked a lot of weed together, and he came over and he brought over acid. And it was about, I don't remember what I did that day actually. Starting off, I know my parents were gone. I think they went on a road trip to go see some family members, and I had my boy Devin over. I had my boy Devin over. I was like, hey, he texted me. He was like, hey, can I come over? I was like, sure. Bring some food. He's like, hey, I just took he's like, about 20 minutes ago I took a tab of acid, and this was in the nighttime at about 6 p.m. He's like, I just took a tab of acid. He's like, I have a tab and a half. He's like, you should take it with me. I was like, okay, sure. I was a very follow the leader or follow the idiot, if you will. If all the people I was friends with walked off of a bridge, if they all walked off the bridge, I'd walk off after them. Why? Because they did, and they're my friends. Just stupid. So Devin comes over. We're hanging out, chilling, having a good time. We have like a light bite to eat. He smoked a little bit, I smoked a little bit. And then at about like 18:30 hours, 6:30, I'll probably be referring to it in 24-hour clock. At about 18:30 hours, he gave me my tab and a half. And he said it was double dipped. I didn't know what the hell that meant, but come to find out that means that like it's not just like a regular little tab of acid. When you do it, you're probably supposed to do half or do the full tab, and it's like a super small. Those of you that don't know anything about acid, it's like a super small, like little piece of paper. It's probably, you can look at like your pinky nail or like your ring fingernail, and that tab of acid can fit on your nail. You just stick your tongue out, put it on your tongue, and you let it dissolve onto your tongue, and then everything inside of it goes into your body, and then you end up tripping. After you trip for like 3 to 4 hours, it lasts quite some time. I didn't have one, I didn't have two, I had a tab and a half, and it was double dipped. So that's exciting. Now that I think about it, it was just stupid. So Devin and I are kicking it. I take my tab and I start geeking out, dude. I started like running around, yelling, screaming. I was like, I'm a fucking crazy monkey. I started screaming crazy, mental. Monkey's having a mental attack. And then I was like lifting my shirt up and like sticking my chest on the door because it was super freaking cold in the house. And I'd turn around at Dev and I'd be like, let's go. We're tripping. Yeah. And he's like, dude, what the hell? He's like, tonight's about to be a wild night. So Devin actually invited over another one of the homies. I still talk to him to this day. Devin invited over another friend. I'm not going to give him a name or an alias for the story. I'm just going to say friend and then whatever number of them. So there were 5 friends. So I'll just refer to them as like friend 3, friend 4, friend 5, because I don't really want to give anybody a name right now. So Devin invited over another one of our good friends, and he brought a bunch of weed over. So he was smoking, and then me and the friend, along with Devin, one of them posted on like Snapchat or something. They're like, yeah, I'm here tripping. I just gave Mxnkey his first acid trip. He's tripping a tab and a half. It's double dipped. I got it from my guy. So we're having a great night. And time goes on, and another one of our friends sees that photo, or that video, that Devin posted on his Snapchat. And then a fourth person over at my house. So it's me, Devin, friend 3, friend 4, and, or no, excuse me, it's me, Devin, the other guy, a third and a fourth. So I believe in total, if I remember correctly, there was, I think, 5, including me. I don't remember if there were 5 of us or 6 of us. So Devin invited over the second homie while I was there, and then he posted that he was with Devin and me, and another friend came over. So just to sort of reiterate, it's Devin and I, stutter, me, Devin, the second friend, and the other guy, and then we had one more over. So it started out just Devin and I, and he always did this. He always invited people over, and I was just never like in the right mind to like stick up for myself. Like, no, stop fucking inviting people over to my house. Like, get the hell out of here. Like, I don't want a bunch of people over. But whatever. So Devin brought over some weed when he came. Other homie who came over, he also brought some weed. Another friend brought over a bunch of Sonic pretzels and Coney chili dogs and hot dogs and milkshakes. He brought over a bunch of stuff. And then the other friend was there just to kind of sit. He was watching over Devin. He was watching the other homie smoking. He was watching the other guy, and he was mainly watching over me, just in case Devin kind of wandered off and did his own thing. So there's a bunch of people over, and we're all there, and we're all upstairs, keep in mind. We haven't moved down to the basement yet, to my room. So after me running around my house, pulling up my shirt and putting my chest on the door, cold, yelling, screaming, doing everything, once everybody's over at the house, we all went downstairs to my room. And one of the homies turned on my Xbox and turned on the TV. And he actually, one of the friends I had over, stupid thing to do when someone's tripping, especially for a first time, he decided to put something on the TV that was called the Russian sleep experiment. And it's something along the lines of a bunch of people got, I don't even know if it's a true story or not. I don't think I really ever cared to listen to it sober, because it kind of fucked me up while I was on acid. It was like a bunch of people get locked in a room, a bunch of people got locked in a room together, and I believe it was like no food or no water, and they ended up like beating each other to death. And in order to survive, the guys in the room started to beat each other to death to survive, because they were just angry for food and wanted something to eat. And then they actually ended up like eating each other in that room. They ended up just like beating each other to death. Like I said, eating one another, killing the other, eating them, killing the other, eating them, killing that guy, eating him. And it was just a really fucked up story, just a really bad story, really awful story. And keep in mind, I had never done acid before. It was my first time. I was like new to trying out stuff, but I just wanted to try it because I had a case of FOMO. So, and then as that video plays, I try to get off of my bed and I try to leave the room. And Devin's like, whoa, like, Mxnkey, like, where you going, dude? Like, no, like, lay down, listen to the story. It's almost over. I'm going to play some music. And then everybody else is going to go outside and smoke. I'm going to leave you here with him. And I'm going to come back. We're going to listen to some tunes. And I might make some food. I was like, oh, okay. And I was too much of a punk to stick up for myself. So I let everybody go out the back door of the house. Devin, homie A, homie B went out to smoke. And I was left with the third homie that I had over. And he was kind of trip-sitting me. And he put on some chill music. Thanks for him. Thank you for putting on some chill music and not a fucking Russian sleep experiment video. They all went outside to smoke. Ideally, what I wanted to do was I just wanted to go outside, which they wouldn't let me. I wanted to go outside and just lay in the yard and look at the stars and look at the moon, see the constellations, watch the planes go by, and every so often maybe see a car or two go by. And nobody would let me leave my fucking house. Like, they wouldn't even let me, like, go on the porch. They basically, for my first time doing acid, I was pretty much confined to my room, locked in my room. I was with a bunch of dumbasses. Once again, tab and a half of double dipped acid, and I was in my room. They wouldn't let me leave. And so I'm laying on the bed. I get up, kind of start walking around. And I go outside. I was like, hey, let's go outside and see what the boys are doing. Because time had flown by. Remember how I said Devin took his at like 6? I took mine at about 8 or something around there. Everybody got over. We all ran downstairs. The rest and sleep experiment was like 45 to an hour long. For some reason, they made me watch it all because they knew that I loved horror stories and listen to things like that. I don't know why I didn't just, like, get up and fucking leave. It was my house. They're in my house. So me and the homie got up to go check on everybody else. We were out there talking, and they're like, I'm hungry. They're like, well, we still have some Sonic upstairs, so let's go eat some Sonic. So they all went up. Everybody that was outside smoking went up and ate a bunch of food. They ate all the Sonic, and then they were making food. They're making, like, eggs. One of the homies had out the rice cooker. He's cooking rice, eating all the snacks, eating all the Oreos, chips. They had a freaking feast. And then everybody ended up just sort of chilling out. The 2 homies that were outside smoking kept smoking. The one friend, I'm going to call him C, he was hanging out with me most of the night because Devin went off to smoke and he went upstairs to eat. And it was like 2 floors. I was like 2 floors below. So the night was up the stairs, down the stairs, up the stairs, down the stairs, up the stairs, down the stairs, just constantly. And I tripped from about 8 or so till about 2 or 3 in the morning. And when I went upstairs to eat like a little bit of food, I think I had like a bag of fruit snacks, a glass of water, and like 2 cookies. And a little bit of the Sonic that they brought over, some milkshake. I believe it was an Oreo milkshake. Oreo or chocolate chip cookie dough. That was always my go-to from Sonic. Those were banging. I don't eat there anymore. And then, like, my trip ended up wearing off. And honestly, I remember we ended up turning on the TV upstairs and playing more music and more YouTube. One of the homies stayed upstairs with me while I kind of came like down from my trip, I guess you could call it. And the other homies went down below to the basement to my room to nap out or to play some video games or something. I don't know what the fuck was going on down there. I still, to this day, don't know what the hell went on down there. And I ended up falling asleep upstairs. Yo, I fell asleep on the fucking the carpet in the middle of the living room. I tripped for like 4 or 5 hours. Started off watching the Rest and Sleep experiment. Started listening to like some music. I think I was listening to some No Copyright Sounds or NCS, if you guys know who they are. And the night ended with me, or the morning ended with me falling asleep upstairs. And dude, those visuals were intense, and it started off with the Rest and Sleep experiment. How fucking stupid is that? So that puts me in a really bad state of mind, but thankfully the homie put on some tunes and kind of lightened up the mood, and everything kind of got better from there. Honestly, everything was a bit more chill. And that next morning when we woke up, it was so quiet. The night before was so loud, music bumping, they were laughing, chatting, having a good time, inside the house, outside the house, walking on the back porch, into the kitchen eating food, downstairs, out the back door, talking to people above the porch, and smoking, and then we did this and did that. The next day was quiet, nobody said shit. And I guess that's the time that I took acid for the first time. Absolutely mental time. Would never do it again. I appreciate you coming by. Peace.